Back in my bullshit. I'll show y'all exactly what the heck I'm doing for training for a while. Started this again last week, and now I'm sticking to it until it doesn't feel good anymore. Here's my bucket of beans. I don't fuck with rice anymore. Rice is for pussies. Right? Yeah. But in all seriousness, I used the rice bucket for roughly 2 years. It got so easy that I decided to upgrade to beans. What are these? I can't remember. I forget what beans these are. If you know, comment below. What the heck is this? What the heck is this? But yeah, so I'm doing the same routine I've done for roughly a year now, and I do it as fast as I can within reason. Which is, I'll explain it because you won't be able to see it. Opening and closing the hands, then with closed fist, flexion and extension, ulnar and radial deviation, and then kind of just circles, basically. Okay, which it kind of gets, I would say, pronation and supination a little bit, but in kind of like a way that also trains slightly like partial range, flexion, extension, everything the wrist does essentially. But anyway, I'll do a reverse ladder. So I'll do 10 reps each, 9 reps each, 8 reps, blah, 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 to 1. And then I'll also do 2 more open and closes and really focus on extension for the last one and come up out of it. Alright? That's the routine. I'll show you how I do it right now. It's going to look pretty goofy, but you'll get an idea of the speed and kind of body leverage I'm using. I do like to be on my feet. This is a pretty decent height where I can kind of like put my whole body into it. Just a good practice of body tension too, and a good warm up in general, right? Cool, there it is. I'm gonna wash my hands, be right back. Alright, now that we're warmed up, first we're gonna focus on pinch strength. And got a brush. the frickin' board, guys. Don't forget to brush your boards. So what I got here is about, I think when I measure this, it's like 2.6 millimeter or something like that. Or no, 2.4 millimeter, I believe. And then we got, of course, a 2-inch wide 2x4. So we're gonna freaking do a overcoming isometric. Gonna ease into it, but the last few seconds will be near full effort, if not full effort. Got my bag of cocaine, aka chalk. And I like to do this almost like a CTI. So I'm pulling kind of this way, okay? So it's not just here, it's like here. Alright? So, let's see. Woo! And I put full body tension into that. If you turn the volume up and go back like 5-6 seconds, you might hear my hip pop because my glutes and hamstrings are even freaking tightening in that position. So now, take a little break, come back for a different kind of edge. Okay, we're back with the 8 millimeter hang, positive edge, and this time, 4-finger crimp, okay? Open hand position. Now, these exercises will have gains toward general strength conditioning, but also I'm choosing these specific holds because I'm not very good at hanging from these yet. And I want to be able to get better at these specific holds. And once I'm good at these holds, I'll then move on to the next, lower size. So once I can do maybe a pull-up on these, I'll move on to 6, then move on to 4. Okay? That's the idea. Now on these, since the hand position is different, I might not be as vertical. It might be more under the hangboard, and that's just merely due to the leverage of the exercise. And what I'm trying to do is essentially get as much force into the hold as possible, utilizing my full body. And if that means I need to change my positioning, then that's just what happens naturally, okay? Alright. God, my abs are sore from yesterday. Holy fuck. Climbed yesterday. Cool. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's take another break and move on. We got 2 more isometrics on the hangboards, and then 1 more isometric on the rings for antagonist training. Alright, I'm back for 10 millimeters sloped. 4 fingers. Typically between a set, I'll just do a little bit of housekeeping or administrative things for a few minutes and come right back. And if I need to recenter my focus, I'll do a little bit of breathing and meditation, which I'll show right now. Belly breathing. back breathing. Side breathing. That also helps to oxygenate, hard word to say, oxygenate the body, get a little more power in you. For this one especially, I might be hanging a little more under it. Again, just due to leverage. And wherever the most powerful positioning is, that is what I'll gravitate toward. Very good. Okay, moving on to positive 12 millimeter 3-finger drag. Same old shit. This one I am pretty decent on. Can almost get a pull up, so I'll probably be pulling pretty hard on it. As a rule of thumb, it's always nice to start with something easy and end with something easy. So in terms of isometrics, and what I'm doing, a hold that I can hang on, followed by a couple holds I cannot hang on, ending with a hold that I can hang on. But we ain't hanging. We know hanging, baby. Cool. Freaking got up onto my insteps that time, which was interesting. That just shows how much my body weight I can pull off the ground. Alright, now for some antagonist training to finish. Got the rings out here. Just pushing as hard as we can, which eventually will turn into almost like a handstand type movement. Because, again, the goal is to put as much force as possible into the objects my hands are in contact with. And that just happens to put me eventually into like a planche position, and then eventually after that into like a handstand kind of position. Okay, so but the goal is essentially just pushing incrementally as hard as I can. That's pretty much it, like pretty fast set. As soon as I get to the point of full tension, which at this point, since it is my final set, I can get there pretty quickly. I just stop there. And in about 6 hours, which will be sometime at night, probably around like 10 to 11 p.m., I will do all of this again. Twice a day, or if I'm climbing or doing some other form of exercise, once a day. That's about it. Look at this, I almost drank this. There's fucking... Anyway, this is merely to show what I'm up to. It's not necessarily me trying to convince anyone to train this particular way. Overcoming isometrics are an advanced exercise, and you will not get much out of them if you don't have a high level of coordination already and a high level of like nervous system output already. So that's not to say you shouldn't try anyway, but I think spending time doing some like more traditional exercises might do you some good, teach you how to utilize full body tension, and get a feel for what that's like before you try to mimic it in a overcoming isometric fashion. So, it's kind of like learning to walk before you run. So, there you go. Anyway, y'all take care. Peace out. Keep crushing out there.